Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us today on the International Euphonium Summit Living History Series with our special guest, Eduardo Nogueroles. I think I got it better than I did in the podcast segment. We'll be working on that as I'm still drinking my coffee. And I'm your host, Nicholas Haffter von Heide. Welcome, Eduardo.
Hello, everybody. I'm really happy to stay here with you. Thank you for your invite.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure and an honor to serve our community and to have you on, and especially to give kind of everybody a heads up that there is a competition called the Leonard Falcone competition for the festival that's usually held in August each year, and Eduardo actually has a piece, and I won't get too much into it, and we'll do a separate segment on this. But as far as it goes right now, you still have time to practice his semifinal piece that's for the artist level for Euphonium, the Hispanic Euphonium. And we're not going to get too much into that right now, but we will have a special segment to cover his reasonings, his inspirations, and why the third valve slide is removed. Yes, you heard that correct. It's going to be amazing, and I look forward to having y'all listen and watch and experience his interpretation, his inspiration, and everything in regarding to that. But with further ado, let's dive in and cover Eduardo's upbringing and his musical experiences growing up. So, when did you start your musical journey?
Well, I started in the band of my town when I have 14 years. I'm really young, and I started music for stay with my friends to study at the academy just for fun and just for playing the band. I play the trumpet, and I play really bad. And the conductor of the band tell me about to change to the tuba because the man of the tuba have a problems and don't comes to the rehearsals. So he say, "Hey, Eduardo, you like to play tuba?" And say, "No, obviously no. I don't like tuba. I don't like. I like my trumpet and I like to play for fun." But he tell me with insistence, and I start to play tuba. And in the first day with my instrument, I am loved with the instrument. I take a love with the instrument, and I start to study the first day. I never study with the trumpet, and
Really?
with the tuba, I start to practice 3 or 4 hours a day from the first day.
Okay, so let's dive into that. What was it like bringing home the tuba and your parents seeing you go from trumpet to tuba?
Yes, my parents is like, wow, what is this? My parents, my family is we don't have musicians in the family, so my father have another work, my mother working home. So for my family, it's really strange. The instrument is very big and have a lot of space in my room, and the sound is so low, typical. I think it's a typical case of more tuba players, no? And so my family don't like too much, but the conductor of the band and my teachers speak with my family, tell my family that I have a good condition, good aptitudes to play the tuba. The big instruments are better for me, for my mouth, and blah blah blah. And my family accept the idea, and I start to study at the Conservatory, of course.
So what was it like? So your parents aren't musical. When did your grandparents, when they first saw you play tuba, what was their experience? What did they think also?
I think they think, well, it's another activity for Eduardo. Maybe I am in this time with 14 years. I want to painter lessons. I want to. I going to make running in the mountains and another activities, young activities. So maybe another one. But I think he's thinking that it's for a little time, maybe for 2 3 years. I play basketball. So maybe he thinks that it's just one activity, one more activity for fun. But I start to play with colleagues, we play with bands. I practice all day, 1 2 hours, 3 hours in the weekends, and the tuba goes better. And many bands of the area call me to play with the bands, to help. And I think, oh, this world is fun. And I observe. Um, I look that the people around the music are a good people, are good friends. I have a good friends in the music. I start to have a good colleagues and good relationships with other colleagues, and I like this ambience for myself. So I start to study better. I study with the probability of change my plans, and no study at the university architecture or engineering or something like that. I all my life think about the engineering maybe. And I start with colleagues. I start to play. I have a good time playing with bands, and I decide to be a musician.
So was that like as you're graduating primary, or so is the academy that you were studying at between like 14 and 17 ish? When did
Yeah,
you start?
14.
Go ahead.
In Spain, the system of studies is different than USA.
Mhm.
We have the system of conservatories.
Okay.
So you can go to the conservatory where from your start. When you start in the you can go to the conservatory, and we have 3 degrees: elemental degree, medium degree, and superior degree. The elemental is like a for children's, and the medium conservatory is when I go to study. It's like a high school in the United States,
Okay.
but with specific teachers. And later, the superior is like a university in the United States.
So like a
So
bachelor's degree.
yeah, so when I decide to study, I go to the conservatory to make the medium studies, and I move to Madrid to study with Miguel Moreno, is the teacher of the Madrid Conservatory. It's a very prestigious teacher in Spain, and I studied in Madrid all my career. So it's very, very important in my life, the decision of studying music, because I moved my city. I am from Valencia in the Mediterranean coast. I moved to Madrid. I studied with Miguel, and all my life changed because I am in other city, in other work, in my town. No, we don't have professional musicians in this time, so my colleagues and I, we are the first generation of musicians in the town. So it's like an adventure, like an adventure.
That's
It's
awesome
very
adventure.
fun.
Yeah. So what was it like leaving home the first time? What did your parents think when you left to Madrid?
Well, he's telling me that if you want to play music, play music. You have to go in at the best place to study with the best teachers. You need to research, and he's helped me obviously with the economy to live in Madrid. I was going to the military service, like a volunteer military service. If you have in Spain military service volunteer, you have a home to sleep and to eat, and later in the afternoon you can go to the conservatory to study. So I stayed for 1.5 years in Madrid in the military band, and later when I finished my time in the military band, I study. I live in an apartment with colleagues, blah blah blah, studying. But my family is like, okay, if you want this, you would like to are a musician, goes, of course.
So when did you pick up bombardino or any other instrument, or was it just tuba, especially for the militar band?
I play just tuba. I have a euphonium, a bombardino. In Spain is bombardino, you know. I have euphonium. I play euphonium sometimes for me or for make examples for my students. But I am no euphonium player, not professional euphonium player. I play tuba just. I'm sorry.
No. Why I do that is because you're on a professional level. You're a composer. You're a director. You teach. You lecture on euphonium and tuba, and there's give yourself a little bit more credit than that. But to be honest, you're one of us. I mean, you're here on the Euphonium Summit also. I mean, you write amazing works of composition, and so let's kind of. When did you start composing?
Wow. First, I finished my career with the tuba. And my first thing is to are tubist. I prepare my career with the tuba like other colleagues. I studied in Madrid. Later, I studied in French with Mel Culberson. I moved to United States to study with Sam Pilefian at Arizona State.
Mhm.
So I prepare my career to be a tuba player, like all Jones, preparing orchestra solos. I play in a lot of orchestras in Spain, probably in all orchestras in Spain. I playing gigs, and I made auditions for the conservatory system in Spain. The conservatory system are all the conservatories of the country are in the same system, and you make auditions. When I back to Spain from Arizona to study with Sam, I made auditions and I win my audition,
Of course you
and
did.
I am to a teacher in Spain, to a phonium teacher, the classes together. And I'm working in the tuba world, in the tuba recitals. I've made recitals, I record CDs playing tuba, and I've made competitions. So in my first part of musician life is like a tuba player, like a tuba artist. In 2003, I moved to Valencia. I have the possibility of going to my town to live in Valencia. Is my city, is my family, and I come to Valencia with my family, and I have the 1 or 2 years teaching, and in 2005 I have a new thing in my head. Before I am tuba player, I conduct a little bit the bands, but no more than tuba player. And in 2005, I think, wow, why not compose my music? Because when you are playing all repertoire, Anthony Plough, John Williams, Vaughan Williams, Gregson, blah, 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 all your pieces that you know, I think now, and now I want to play more music, no? And I start to make arrangements from violin, from cello, music, and in one moment I think, why don't wrote my music for
Your own
myself, no?
compositions, right?
Yeah, why don't I start to compose? It's like one idea, and I contact with Ferrer Ferran. He's a Spanish composer, very famous in the band world, in the band's world.
Mhm.
And I contact with Ferrer, and I say, Maestro, I want to start to compose. He say, why? You have 33 years. You are not young. I don't know. It's like my new thing, my new project. No, I don't
Right.
know. I want to try, and I start to study, and so I start really later. So later in comparison of other colleagues, obviously, and for me it's a new work, no?
Sure.
And I've opened the composition, open my mind, open my new a new scene in my music world, and made me much better tuba player, because
That's
I have
phenomenal.
another things, another vision of a structure of music, of the analysis of the music for me is now very easy. And I start to compose. Obviously, I compose for bands, I compose for orchestra, and obviously for euphonium and tuba because it's my world. I work all days with my instruments. I work all days with my pupils playing euphonium. So my idea, my habitual work is to compose one piece for anything, for soloist, trumpet, clarinet, band, orchestra, and other for euphonium and tuba. Oh, and I make one and one, one for everybody, one for euphonium or tuba. So my catalog of euphonium and tuba goes up.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
yes, I start too late to compose, but
No,
now,
no, no, you can't do that. I'm not going to let you get away with that. You know, each of us have a journey, and you're every one of our cohort members, including Eduardo, have an amazing journey and story. And, even later in life, as we are in, it doesn't matter where you're at. And if you're watching us right now and you're around our age group by chance, know that it's never too late to start composing. Just start out there and put your work out there, and it's never too late to start.
yes,
You brought up a great dynamic, Eduardo, where it's helped you increase your musicianship and your
yeah.
ability to analyze other pieces of music on a different level. So it brings very interesting dynamics when.
Yes, and now I am really focused in composing. Now, when I start my day, my only thing is to have 2 or 3 hours to compose. Now is my priority activity, because composing is the most intellectual work in music, and for me, it's fantastic time when I am working. It's really interesting to work, but later it's very interesting for myself when I go to conduct my band. I conduct a big wind band in Valencia. The Societat Musical de Alboraya is a very good band. And when I going to conduct the band, for me, it's much more easy to know all the scores, to read the score, to have the important points to the rehearsals, because my mind are working before with the construction of the music. And obviously when I play the tuba, for me it's more, I don't know in English, I go to check the palabra. I have feedback
Uh-huh.
feedback from one activity for other, and so and my day is really fun because I am composing in the morning. Later I go to teach at the conservatory. Later I go to conduct the band. So it's very interesting because you change the activity and your mind refresh. Your mind go to the new activity, so go with energy. If I am 8 hours a day teaching tuba, I'm crazy, and and now my mind is always with things, and I like very much this feedback around the activities. For me it's amazing, really amazing.
That's fantastic. Man, I can't wait to dive into your experiences in Madrid with Miguel Moreno, and then maybe touching back on the military band your first year, and then off to France, and then off to the United States to study under Sam Flavian, which is really interesting uh, that when you went there in 96, I had actually visited that campus in 96 because I was just north of you in 99 at Northern Arizona University at
Uh-huh.
the time. So it's really fantastic that uh, yeah, I'm looking forward to diving into that time period on our next in series with you, Eduardo. And until next time, we're going to sign off and go back to the podcast segment and wrap up some things here. And yeah, find your favorite podcast outlet, and you hear the conversations as we gear up for this actually first in series with Eduardo Nogueroles. I will be working on that as we continue this. So find your favorite podcast segment and look for the Eduardo's YouTube channel up in the upper left or right. I'm getting better at that. And find his channel and page at internationalyeuphoniumsummit.com Eduardo Nogueroles, and you'll find more information there and how to get his new piece, the Hispanic Euphonium, as well as all the other compositions, and even perhaps sight read his works for oboe. That'll be interesting. So just to put that primer into your minds, and until next time, we look forward to covering more with Eduardo in the future here and throughout his journey. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Until next time. Bye, everyone.